I've got a 4-day getaway in Milan for £81. That's how easy it is. So I'm often asked in my previous videos, how am I able to get so many trips or holidays so cheap? And some people have even gone as far to call me a liar with some of the deals that I claim. So I've decided to make a video where I show you step by step how I do this, and most importantly, show how you can do this for yourself. So to do this video, I've set myself a few parameters. The first one being, I'm gonna have to find a few holidays that are £200 or less per person. And with this, I'm not going to use any apps like Lucky Trips, which automatically calculate for you, and I'm not going to use any discount codes either. This is going to be just me trying to find things on my own. And also, one of the most important rules that I've set is none of this is planned. I've not pre-researched into these cheaper holidays. This is going to be me right now on camera figuring it out, just using the principal rules that I'm going to walk you through. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, you're going to already be aware of some of them. But if you're new, this is all going to be brand new for you, so please stick around and watch step by step. Now, before I start doing this, I just want to make it very clear that all I'm going to do is book flights and hotels, because for me, that is a holiday. If I've got a flight and I've got a hotel somewhere, I'm going on a trip. This isn't going to include airport transfers or extra spending money or extra activities. They for me are extras, which is going to be figured out afterwards. So the first thing we're going to do is go on incognito mode. That's the absolute first step that you do. Once we've got incognito mode, we're going to go onto Skyscanner. So we just uploaded Skyscanner here in incognito mode. I've set my from London because that's my local city, and then we're going to go onto here and just click can't decide where. So that's going to show anywhere of the cheapest flights that are happening. And then after clicking everywhere, I don't really know what time of year I want to go. I just want to make sure it's got the cheapest date possible. So I'm going to click on depart and put cheapest month in. And that's going to set my parameters. I'm going to go cheap flights and I'm going to see what's available for me. Okay, there's a lot of options here available to me that are super, super cheap. So France looks really interesting. Okay, so we can go to Toulouse. So I'm just going to get up that one and think, okay, so I want to go there. That looks interesting. Look at Germany, and I can look at Cologne, Dortmund, Frankfurt, Berlin, great city. Okay, let's have a look at that. So these are primarily city breaks, and let's just try one more. Milan, how about that? Yeah, let's try Milan. Okay, so first one here is Toulouse. So this is December, quite near Christmas, so we think we want to go to the Christmas month, but let's just move it along a little bit. I feel like actually I want to have a bit of a spring break, so I'm going to go for April. Okay, so let's go from the 19th to the 23rd, the Saturday. Okay, so we search it there, and then I'm going to see what flights are going to come up. Okay, and then the searches are done. Now, unfortunately, this hasn't actually worked out as cheap as I would like it. We're looking at return flights to Toulouse for £83, probably more money that I want to spend, so I'm going to go into one of my other options. Now, Berlin in January is a great time of year to go. It's very, very cold in Berlin though in the winter, so may just try and move these along and go again for a little bit of a spring city break. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly on Tuesday, because what's really important is everyone usually likes to come home on a Sunday, or they usually like to fly away on a Friday, so we try and use some of the dates that aren't as common, and that way you generally find the cheapest flights as well. So we're going to go on here, and as you can see the different prices. We're going to come home on Friday, which is usually a bit of an odd time for people to come back. Okay, so it's just done some calculations and we just found, so £59 for a return flight to Berlin. Now that's a lot better. That's more affordable for me compared to when we was in Toulouse. It was looking at £83 or £70, and we got one here for 59. So we're on to a winner. So now let's go into Milan. Okay, so what we've done, we've just gone to Milan and we've searched for a particular date. So we've gone for a kind of a long weekend, and we've selected the 11th to the 14th. So that's a nice 4-day getaway, 3-night stay in Milan. And so what I'm going to do now is go into a trusted Airbnb, and what you might have seen is I've selected a few parameters as we put the dates in. I've also selected an entire apartment as well, because generally that's what I like to do. And I zoom into the feature here, and I've seen one here in a good central location that's £71 a night. So I'm just going to click on that here. And what we see here is that it's £142 for that accommodation, which split two ways is £71. So if all I do is add the £10 to the flights, and I've got a 4-day getaway in Milan for £81. That's how easy it is. That I didn't really need to work hard at that, and I think you'll agree that actually this location looks quite nice as well. I think it's fine. It looks nice, it looks sleek, it looks modern, so that's okay. But for some people, this might not be enough. So let's just play the game a little bit. And if you're watching that thinking, well, I don't really like the look of that apartment, which is completely fine. So let's have a look at a more central location and see what can come up. So we've got another place here, which is £123 a night, so it's a little bit more money. And so this one is coming up at £246. So that's a little bit more money, but if we divide that by 2, that is £123, and we add our £10 flights, we're 133. So there we are, there's 2 options, and we're still within the budget of under £200 per person. However, what I'm also going to do is look at our Berlin flights. So we're just going to rewind back. I found 2 flights in Berlin for £69, and these were in April, so a nice spring getaway from the 12th to the 15th. So again, it's a nice short city break. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm looking at Berlin now, and now it's a city that I am quite familiar with, but if it's not a city you're familiar with, you'll think, well, I'm looking at these areas, but where's a good area to stay? So I've gone onto Google Maps, and I've typed in Berlin, so we'll just see what comes up. And what Google Maps does is gives you a really good explanation of where everything is. So what we do here, we have the Berlin Cathedral here, we have the Brandenburg Gate, and as we know, we have the river here. So now we know generally where we want to be, and I know that generally speaking, the east of Berlin, around over here, is really, really good. It's quite a nice area, it's got a lot of bars, it's quite entertaining. So we're going to look at these kind of areas around the Berlin Cathedral, around Alexanderplatz, which is quite a well-known area. And actually right here we have an entire rented apartment right in the centre of Berlin, which to me looks quite nice. That looks more than suitable. Stay in Berlin, and we type that in, and that's £295 for the days we want. That's £259, which once we add on the flights is going to take us just over budget. We are £59 flight, and this room at £295. That will take us to a total of £206.50. So I'm sticking really closely to my rule. I'm not going to go over budget, so what I'm going to do is find a cheaper apartment. So we're going to go back onto our map and see where else we can look at. Now what I've done here is found an apartment which is in a good central location. Now this was £58 a night, which is a total of everyone £191, including all the taxes. And once I divide that by 2 people and add on the flights, that's £154.50 to go away to Berlin for a few days. So again, I've reached the target. I can go away to Milan and Berlin for less than £200 per person. Now, Airbnb doesn't always have to be an option. So I usually use booking.com as well. And you can also book a hostel, which is a great way of meeting new people, especially if you're a solo traveler. And the best place to do that is book something through Hostel World. Those are the dates we selected, which was the 12th to the 15th. What you see here, you have dorms, which are really, really cheap and a great way to meet people for £22. So we can probably do that for actually under £100 if we're staying in a hostel, which is absolutely crazy. So in the half an hour that I've been doing the research on this computer to find 2 holidays for under £200, I found 2 getaways to some of Europe's most visited destinations. I got a trip to Milan for 4 days for £133, and a 4-day trip in Berlin in the springtime, so in April, for £154. That's really cheap, but to me it's not surprising. It's because I always set myself a certain amount of parameters, which is I'll make sure that I've got the basic comforts I need, I'm in a good location, and I make sure where I'm staying is going to provide me with the experience that I want. Because you need to figure out what is important to you when you go away. You can go to visit the same city and have a very different experience and pay for a very expensive hotel or get certain amenities that means you have to pay more for them. And that's absolutely fine. You do you, just do whatever kind of holiday you want to do. But For me, the most important thing is that I see these cities and then I do it for as cheap as possible, which means that I'm able to save up quicker to go and see another place that I want to see. If I do it this way, I save the most money possible, and then that means I get to see more places around the world, which I'm taking it if you're someone who's watching my channel, wants to travel as much as possible, so this just makes so much sense. Now I know that was quite quick, and for some of you who feel new to this channel might think, well, you didn't really tell me too much. And what all I did was show you step by step, so you can rewind this video, keep watching it, and show how I use Skyscanner, look at how I used Airbnb. Because I'm going to be honest, there's no simple magic trick. A lot of these deals are just sitting in front of you. They're really, really easy to find. Just people want to go through travel agents, or they can't bother to book all the little things themselves. But I've just proven to you that if you book things yourself and you do this little extra half an hour work I've just done, you can find really cheap holidays. But if you do want more information, I've done a number of more in-depth videos of how I book cheap flights, for example, or how I get cheaper holidays, and my step-by-step processes and how I find the cheapest deals every time. And these videos are just coming up above me right now, and they're also linked in the description below. So if you want to learn more about certain tricks I use, please watch them videos. Or if you have a very specific question that none of my videos cover, just ask me in the comments and I will always get back to you. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. I hope I've inspired you to go and find your next city break for under £200 as well. As I said, if you have any questions, please ask me in the comments section below. Until then, I will catch you on the next video. See you later.